Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. In this video, we're going to talk about something that a lot of people misunderstand, and that's going to be debt. Now, most people are taught that debt is bad. Most people are taught that if you owe money, you're actually losing. Most people are taught that the best thing that you can do financially is to avoid debt completely, pay cash for everything, and never borrow money from anyone. But if you actually look at wealthy people, large companies, real estate investors, or if you look at how businesses have grown over the last decades, you're going to notice something very different. The wealthy are not avoiding debt. They're actually using debt strategically. And that is the difference. They're not using debt the same way that the average person would use debt. Now, the average person will use debt to buy liabilities. Wealthy people use debt to buy assets. The average person uses debt to look rich. Wealthy people use debt to actually become rich. Now, the average person will use debt to consume. A wealthy person will use debt to control things that produce income, appreciate in value, or give them some type of financial advantage. Because what they understand is leverage. That one word can change everything. Leverage is what allows one person to use less of their own money, less of their own time, and less of their own physical effort to control more assets, create more income, and build more freedom. And that's exactly what I want to break down in this video. Now, before we go any further, I want to make this very clear. I'm not telling anybody to go take on debt that they cannot afford to pay back. I'm not telling anybody to go max out credit cards. This video is about understanding how debt actually works. If used correctly, debt can help you build assets, increase your income, buy real estate, grow a business, and create more financial freedom. So if that sounds like something you want to understand, make sure you watch the entire video. And without further ado, let's get right into it. I believe one of the biggest lies most of us are taught is that hard work alone will somehow make you wealthy. Now, don't get me wrong, you need work ethic, you need discipline, and you need consistency, and you need to be able to show up even when you don't feel like it. But hard work by itself has a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. There's only so much physical energy you can have. There's only so much money you can make when your income is tied directly with your time. And that is a fact. If you make $20 an hour, you have to work more hours to make more money. Your income solely depends on you showing up. That is a trap. Most people spend their entire lives trying to increase the value of their time, but the wealthy focus on separating their income from their time. And that is where leverage comes in. Now, leverage means you're using something outside of yourself to create a bigger result. You can leverage other people's money, you can leverage other people's time, you can leverage systems, credit, content, business relationships, assets, and so on. If your true goal is to build wealth, you can't try to do everything with just your paycheck. You have to understand that if you only rely on your own cash, your growth is going to be slow. And once again, don't get me wrong, slow growth is fine when it compounds over time. But for the average person working a regular 9-to-5 job, the problem is that their income is barely keeping up with the rising cost of living. So if you're only building with what's left over after your paycheck, mathematically, it's almost impossible to make a meaningful progress in your lifetime. But if you can use things like credit, capital, and systems the right way, the wealth building process can move much faster. And that is the first shift that I want you to make. You have to stop asking, what can I buy with this credit? You need to start asking, how can I use this credit to put myself in a better financial position? So the first actionable step that you need to take is very simple. You need to audit how you currently use your credit. Look at every credit card, every loan, and account that you currently have right now, and ask yourself this question: is this debt helping me produce income or build an asset? If the answer is no, then that debt is probably working against you. And that's why I cover money, credit, and mindset so much, because to build true wealth, it requires you to be very honest with yourself. You cannot leverage credit like the wealthy while using credit like you're a consumer. So you have to clean up your direction first. Now, let's talk about starting from zero, because a lot of people hear this conversation about leverage and they immediately say, yeah, that sounds good, but I don't have good credit. Well, let's address all the objections right now. They'll say, I don't have money, I don't have business credit, I don't have high income, I'm starting from nothing. And my answer to you, that's exactly why all of this is going to matter. You don't need to start off in the best position to build leverage. I personally didn't. What you need to do is get organized, be strategic, and you need to start with the right foundation. So first of all, if you're starting from zero and you're having issues with your credit, I recommend using Rising. It's an all-in-one credit repair platform that gives you access to your credit reports and your scores, and it also shows you what may be hurting hurting your credit. It helps you take actions with dispute templates, bureau response tracking, an auto mail feature, and it's built right into the app. You can use Rising as your 90-day credit improvement system. It also includes up to 24 months of rental and utility trade lines that can back report payment history. That can help add positive payments up to 2 years of account age to your credit profile instantly. Right now, you can access your credit report through Rising's $1 7-day trial. There's a clickable link here on screen. There's also a link down below in the description. The second thing you need to do is build a credit profile that looks lendable. Now, banks are not just giving money away because you want funding. Banks are looking at risk. That includes payment history, credit utilization, the age of your accounts, your income, your existing debt, and how many inquiries you currently have. So a lot of people try to do this backwards. Before you even think about leverage, you need to think about positioning. Third, finding a way to increase and free up your income. Now, freeing up your income is a very good place to start, but you can only cut so much. You can cancel subscriptions, you can stop eating out, you can lower your bills, you can live below your means, and those things do help, but again, that has a ceiling. At some point, you have to focus on making more money. I have a video called How to Turn Your Paycheck into Real Wealth. In that video, I break down step by step how to audit your expenses and how to start thinking of ways to increase your income. Once you have repaired your credit, once you have taken care of any outstanding debt that you don't need, and you've increased your income, you are now in a position of strength. You'll be able to pay down what's ever hurting you. You'll be able to build a cash reserve, and then you can consider starting a business for additional cash flow. And this is where you will put yourself in the best position to start utilizing leverage. And finally, the fourth thing you need to do once cash flow is created, you need to use that money to start putting it towards things that do not require you to trade time for money forever. Because even if you have a business, even for me recording this YouTube video, I have to sit here, I have to do stuff. It takes time. There's editing, there's writing, there's all types of stuff that go into doing this. And to be honest, it takes a while and it's very expensive. I spend a majority of my days working. I would say 90% of my life is work, but I have seen lots of great results from doing that. And I also want to do this in a very short amount of time. So I dedicate a majority of my time to getting these results. But I've done things where I've taken all the income that I've created and I've put it in places. That's all I've been doing for like the last 2 or 3 years. And now I have a lot of money that I have made because I've grown it and I've focused on using that. And I did that with leverage. That is step by step how you go from actually zero to building leverage. In fact, my whole channel is dedicated to this exact topic. I've done that. You've seen me go from finishing repairing my credit to starting a business here on YouTube to growing out that cash flow to where I've shown you what I did with the money and how I invested that money. And now I'm very close to hitting my first $1 million. And from there, I will turn that into probably 10 or 30 million over the next 8 years. That is my plan. I've planned this out for like 4 or 5 years, and it's taken me that long to really get into all of these steps. So when I say like I've done this, what I'm telling you is from experience. I am telling you it does work. You have to be dedicated in order to do this. So now that we understand that you need to build your credit and your income before you can properly use leverage, let's cover debt really briefly. Now, debt is simply the cost of borrowing money. That is it. It's not complicated. When you take on debt, you act as the borrower and the lender will act as the creditor. The basic components include principal, aka the original amount that you borrowed. Then we have interest. That's the additional fee that you're charged by the lender for using their money, often calculated as a percentage of the principal. And finally, we have your term. That is the agreed upon time frame in which the debt needs to fully be repaid. Very straightforward. I think everyone understands this, but let's discuss in a little more depth why wealthy people use debt. Now, they use debt because they understand opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means if I use my cash for one thing, I cannot use that same cash for something else. So if a wealthy person has $100,000 in cash, they may not want to spend that $100,000 on a car or equipment or renovations or inventory or even a business expense. And why? Because that same $100,000 may be producing income somewhere else. It may be invested. It may be sitting in a business. It may even be used to acquire another asset. So instead of draining cash, they'll leverage the bank's money when the terms make sense. And that is the key phrase. when the terms make sense. Wealthy people are not just borrowing money randomly. They are looking at the cost of capital. Now, let's talk about good debt versus bad debt. No matter what you do in life, everything will come with risk. While taking on debt does come with a lot of risk, it's often categorized by its long-term financial impact. Meaning, if I borrow money, will it A, increase in value or generate long-term income, or B, will it decrease in value or cost me income long-term? Now, most of us were raised to believe that all debt is bad, and for a lot of people, that advice can make sense because most people have only experienced bad debt. Reason being, most people use debt when they're under financial pressure, not thinking about building wealth, but that is by design. I mean, if you work a 9-to-5 job, there's not many people who work an everyday job that are like, how do I invest 100K and turn it into 1 million? Most people aren't thinking like that. They're just surviving. So if they can have the cash, they don't really have to borrow. So they only borrow when they don't have money. That is how you lose. So if currently all you're doing is thinking about making it to Friday, that is again why I said the start of this process, you need to have good credit and you need to have extra income. Leverage doesn't work without it. This is also why financial education matters, because if you don't learn the difference between using debt and being used by debt, then every approval that you get can be a trap. Now let's talk a little bit more about good debt and how the wealthy use it. Now, the use of good debt allows you to gain control and ownership of an asset. And if you do this properly, that asset itself does the work for you. It should pay down its own debt. So for example, when I borrow things, I borrow money with the expectation that whatever I use that for, it will come back and pay whatever I borrowed. I don't really think I'm going to pay for that. It's going to actually make it back for me and then some. Now, the wealthy are not just borrowing money to look rich. And I want to make this a point. If you look by definition, someone who is rich, that would be someone that has a high income. There are a lot of people that have high incomes, like they just make a lot of money. You could think of athletes, you could think of entertainers. They make a lot of money. That is what rich is. Whereas wealthy means that you have deep, sustainable assets that can actually pay for your cost of living. Wealthy is financial freedom. Rich is just high income. By definition, right now, I'm rich. I'm not wealthy though. What I want is to be able to actually live my life without having to do a thing. That is true financial freedom. That is true wealth. Rich means nothing. And the reason why it's very important for you to actually leverage debt and use this strategy is because the US dollar, it will lose purchasing power over time. In simple terms, the same dollar that you actually have in your pocket right now does not buy you as much in the future as it will buy you today. Wealthy people know this. Major companies know this too. So instead of holding all their money in cash, they use borrowed money from banks to acquire assets, especially assets they can control. They're strategically using today's dollar to buy assets that may be more valuable tomorrow. And when those assets produce income, that income can help pay back the debt while the wealthy person still keeps ownership of the asset. And that is how debt becomes a tool instead of becoming a trap. It's so important for you to understand that capital has a job. If money put into an asset can earn more in one place than the debt cost in another place, it may make sense to use the bank's money instead of using your own. So here's a simple example. If I have $100,000 in cash and I want to buy something for $100,000, I have two options. I can pay in cash and give up $100,000 immediately, or I can finance the purchase and keep the $100,000 working for me elsewhere. Now, this only makes sense if the money is actually working. If your money is sitting doing nothing and you're borrowing at a high interest rate, that is not good debt. That is just expensive debt, which is bad since you now understand that money in the future will likely be less valuable than it is today. But if your capital is invested in a business or another asset that can produce a higher return than the cost of borrowing, now you're thinking like the wealthy. And this is a very basic example, but that is why wealthy people may finance things that they could technically pay for in cash. They're not always financing because they cannot afford it. They're financing because they don't want to interrupt the growth of their assets. That is a completely different mindset that most people don't have. So now let's talk about a few assets that you can acquire using debt. The biggest difference between good debt and bad debt is what the debt buys. Now, real estate is one of the easiest examples. A person may borrow money to buy a rental property. If the numbers work, the tenant pays rent, the rent covers the mortgage, taxes, insurance, repairs, and reserves the property, then it may appreciate over time. Now, the debt is attached to an asset. That doesn't mean that the asset is risk-free. Tenants can stop paying, repairs can happen, property values can fall, but the principle is still important. The debt is not being used to buy a liability. Debt becomes more dangerous when it only creates payments. Debt becomes powerful when it creates cash flow. So think of your finances like a house. Money comes in through the income window. For most people, that income will come from a job. Then the money immediately flows out through the expense window. That's going to be rent, mortgage, food, car payments, insurance, utilities, credit cards, subscriptions, entertainment, etc. By the time the money comes in and goes out, there's nothing left to build with. That's how most people live. But let's change this around. Let's say when money comes in, let's not immediately send it all to lifestyle. Let's send a portion of it to income producing assets. That could be a business, that can be an investment, that could be real estate, that can be content, it can be systems, it can be skills. I mean, I have an entire video where I show you like, this is how you get rich, right? And I talk about how I made $30,000 in a month. You need to have a skill, something valuable that people would want to pay money for. If you want to watch that video, I'll link it right here. I think it's an excellent video really breaking that down. Now, personally, I can't tell you what to do. I think a lot of people, not to be offensive, but it's not someone else's job to think for you. You know what I mean? I want to introduce the idea of wealth building, but it's not my job to say, hey, you go make content. Hey, you go start a business. Hey, you go start an airline. Like, that's not my job. It's up to each individual to look at what are your strengths, what are your skills, what are your interests. You have to figure out what it is that you can provide, that you can offer. That is your job. Okay. Go figure that out. Then once you figure that out, scale up your money. You can then start building assets, buying them, and then feeding these assets over and over again. Then one day the asset will start feeding you. That is the goal. You want your income producing asset to eventually become strong enough to pay your bills, to fund your lifestyle, to pay down debt, and then to create more assets for you in the future. Now, here's the mindset that I want you to take away from this video. From this point forward, don't just ask whether you can afford something, ask whether it moves you forward. Don't just ask whether you can get approved, ask whether or not the approval has a purpose. Don't just ask how much the payment is, ask what the debt is helping you control. Don't just ask how to pay everything off, ask how to build assets that can eventually pay things off for you. That is a different level of thinking. And if you have bad debt right now, start by getting organized. At the same time, start building your income producing assets. That may mean learning a skill or starting a business, or from a social perspective, that might mean just using your weekends differently. Just start behaving differently. Focus on improving your credit so that you can qualify for better terms later. Cutting lifestyle expenses temporarily so that you can fund assets instead of liabilities is also very important. And don't just work for money and spend it. Work for money, organize it, and send part of it towards something that can eventually work for you. That's how you shift from consumer to an owner of assets that will make you wealthy over time. Now, like I said before, you can focus on countless ways that this can't work for you. That's if you want to be in that mindset. But the bottom line is, all these methods that we talked about today, they've worked for people. They will work now, and they'll also work in the future. This is how wealthy people use debt. And the more debt that you have, the more you can actually make if you're using it strategically. And that is why this is the path for you. Build credit, increase income, start a business or something that you can do that will cash flow, leverage debt, buy assets, and finally, you'll gain wealth. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that this video encourages you to stop looking at money the same way. My hope is that it'll shift your focus not on becoming debt-free, but becoming more financially free. Because the real goal is not just to owe less, the real goal is to own more. So if this video did help you see debt differently, then make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with the word leverage if you're ready to start thinking about money the way that wealthy people think about it. And as always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.